time to take a look at the new Dior. Do I sound excited? I'm excited to try them, but I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous. So this, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is the new Dior eyeshadows. They have been reformulated, and I picked up shades Rose Tulle and Khaki because those are new. They are not names that existed before in the Dior eyeshadow quints, at least not that I was aware of in the last 3 years. And I'll say a couple things about just packaging first. One, the paper cases feel like the paper cases of the velvets that came out. The packaging is a little bit velvety in the way that it looks, a little subdued, matte-like. There were no sleeves. The eyeshadows did not come with, you have like the velvet sleeves. They didn't have them. I don't know if those were just mine, but these did not. The numbers are different on these because, again, they're new shades, but my understanding is the numbers on, as I read through on my video, some of them are the same. So now that I look at the ingredients, we have mica, cornstarch, zinc, silica. Looking to see, there's a type of flower water in here. There is pine oil. Yeah. Okay, so I see pine oil. Interesting. There's like different ingredients, I think based on the different shades. Because some of these are like sparkle shades that didn't really exist before. It seems to me that this is similar to the formula that the velvets had with the cornflower in it, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I'd say the difference is the cornstarch. I'm gonna look through all the ingredients of the old ones versus the new ones and see, but the cornstarch is the most obvious one. Like that, there wasn't cornstarch in the formula that I like so much, but I do believe there was in the velvets. Okay, so let's open them. The cases, like I said, are different. And here's what I mean. The old ones had a silver bar, and the great thing about the old case is you pressed on the silver bar and it just opened up. Super easy, like you didn't break a nail, super easy to use. The new one has this little CD, and you have to pull up on the, push your nail under the CD, and then it opens. I don't love that. I like the old one better, but I'm gonna assume that the mechanism was more expensive. Being able to press on it and open it, I don't know. Or maybe they just liked having the CD. I'm not sure what it is, guys, but that is the difference in the case. The case, otherwise, if I look at the two cases, yeah, they look the same. Don't see a difference. Let me look on the back. Let's see if there's a difference between, nope, same weight, 7 grams, 0.24 ounces. The details on the back are slightly different, but not much. I mean, it's basically the same. See any other difference? Still 6 months as well. So like I said, I have Jungle to compare this khaki with, so you guys can see it, because again, there is no khaki. And we'll try the Rose Tulle. We'll just swatch the Rose Tulle as well, so you can see what you think. I'll do a video on it, so we can see. You know, it's gonna be hard to tell, to be honest with you, until we actually use it on the eye, what it's actually like. I also picked up 2 of the liners. I'll swatch them for you as well. I'll use one on the eye today. One is dark green, and the other is Plum. 2 shades that I really like. And I did pick up the mascara just to see if there's really any difference. I'll know by using it if it's the same mascara. It does look the same as the old packaging. I couldn't tell a difference. This is a red one, but I mean, the packaging looks the same to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any difference. So anyway, we'll try it out. Okay, so let's first swatch it. Let's swatch the Rose Tulle first. just so we can see what the Rose Tulle is like. There are other shades, color stories, whatever we want to call it, that are also new that weren't available yet when I went on the Dior site. Also, there are, of course, the new blush, reformulated blushes, and then the new glow blushes, which look like this, which I do have on today. This is Coral. This is the old formula. I do have this on my face today. I did not own Coral before, but as soon as I learned they were coming out with 4 new shades and the possibility that all of them would be reformulated, I picked up the Coral just so I would have it. I love it. I think it's great. I can't believe I waited this long to buy it, but I will pick up the other shades in the glow, you know, once I see them available. The reformulated blushes, again, I will pick up a couple of shades. There's like 22 shades. One of the things about the blushes before, I will say, is that there weren't that many shades, and that was kind of, you know, a drawback to Dior. So the fact that they have a lot more shades is great. So this is Rose Tulle. I will say that it does remind me of several of Dior's Quints, to be honest. It's kind of hard to think about what they are right now, but I think this shade is going to be obviously the most prominent. It's like a rosy bronze, very pretty, peachy. This shade is obviously a satin. This is more of a matte. The matte is maybe a satiny matte, but it doesn't swatch as well as the Dior mattes of before. And this is a sparkle shade, which Dior really didn't have in their old Quints. So Rose Tulle looks like to be a pretty peachy, I would say, at the moment. Quint, I'll definitely do an eye look with it and look for ones that I want to compare it with. If you have shades that you want me, if there are Quints that you can think of that you want me to compare it with, let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure I do that. But yeah, it does look pretty. The formula seems more powdery, I would say. But again, I haven't put it on the eye yet, so let's swatch Khaki. And I'll put Jungle next to it so you can see the difference. Seems to be swatching well. The formula is definitely less creamy, but it doesn't seem bad. I haven't watched anyone's videos yet. I was traveling, so I didn't have a chance to put this up before, but everyone said they still wanted to see my reviews, so I'm doing it now. So what I would say is, the matte shades, or what I think are the matte shades, seem to not swatch as well. This is a very much sparkly top shade. And these are satins. The satins look very nice. This like lemony green kind of puce shade swatched well. And the green swatched extremely well. The other shades, you know, not as much. Now Jungle's a different color story. Obviously these are not the same. But I can tell you right now, just like putting my finger in the Jungle, there's a creaminess about the old ones that actually like gives you some drag on your finger when you go to swatch it. It feels like, explain it, but there's just an amazing formula that this is not. I can feel it. It's just different. I'm not going to say that this is bad. I'm just saying it's definitely, you can feel the difference in the formula just by swatching it. So that's interesting. And the mattes are much smoother in the old one. So here's Khaki and here's Jungle. Definitely a different color story, which is good. I mean, I'm glad it's not exactly the same. This shade is probably the most similar in the two. These two and these two are reminiscent, but of course these are much more pigmented. And the brown is much deeper, cooler brown than this over here. And the green is much more of a forest matte green. This is like a shimmery green. Just wipe this off with a microfiber towel, and I can say that the old formula also stains more than the new formula. Well, you know, still stains a little bit, but you know, because all of you have really, you know, seen reviews of this and you've seen other people do looks with it, I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time, you know, going through the details of the look, but I am going to put together a look so I can tell what I think of the formula and give you my thoughts. Also, I do intend, like I said, to do the Rose Tulle, and like I'll do a short video comparing it to other quints. But also, when the other ones come in stock, and I forgot the names of the shade, there was a new one that was like amber something, amber pearl. I will pick those up and do reviews of them. You know, a lot's going to depend on how I view this formula. I don't know if they're all the same. You know what I mean? Because it looks like on the ingredients in the back, there's different ingredients for different shades. So it's very possible that one quint I might like the formula better than another. So we'll see. So let's start with this shade here. Put that as the transition. Yeah, so you know, we'll see how this one works, how I like it. If it seems to me that this is something that, you know, I should continue buying. Those of you who haven't watched me before, when Dior reformulated their eyeshadows 3 years ago, I picked up a few of them. I have a video where I literally went through and reviewed all the ones that I had and ranked them. And I fell in love with the formula of that new reformulation 3 years ago, and I've bought every single Dior eyeshadow quint that's come out since then. And so, you know, for me, the question will be if I decide to continue to do that based on this reformulation, because the reason I did that is that the formula was so good that although I might not like a color story, I was always impressed by the formula, and it always worked so well that I was like, well, you know, it's worth it. If the formulas are going to be very hit or miss, depending on the quint, I might pick up fewer ones or ones that you're interested in seeing. So that went down well. I don't see a problem with that. That's a matte shade. It went on the eye nicely. Again, it's not as creamy. Use this deep brown shade. It's not as creamy as the old formula. This has more kick up as well. But it's going on, you know, it's going on well. I can't say that it's in any way problematic at the moment. I'm not as wowed by it as the reformulation 3 years ago, but again, it's not a problem. There's nothing bad about it so far. All right, we're gonna take this deep green shade, satiny shade. I'm gonna put that on the eye. That's a beautiful shade. Very green, very pigmented, very satiny. Seems to be working well. Don't seem to have a problem with it. I'm gonna put it in the inner corner as well. I'm gonna take the lighter green shade, the lime green, if you will, and put that in the middle. So yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It went down really well. No problems with not falling all over the place. None of those types of things. Let's take the puce shade. Yeah, that's really beautiful. What I'm noticing is that, like I said, the creaminess is not there as much, but it's not bad. Okay, that seemed to blend well. Let's see if it blends into one shade. That does happen sometimes, and I hate when that happens. Yeah, we are losing a little definition, but I'd say all in all, not bad. You know, you still see the 4 distinct shades on my eye. One shade kind of blended into itself, but we're gonna take the sparkly yellowy shade. Just gonna put that on top of the look. That one doesn't seem to do much, to be honest. I don't see anything there. Let me use it in the brow area. Yeah, the sparkle shade is not particularly impressive in my opinion. But the other shades did their job, did it well. They did blend a little into each other. This brown and this like warmish tone kind of blended into each other. You kind of see that. But the look is not bad. Let's take the liners. Let me show you the green. This is called dark green. Very smooth. These are kohl pencils. They say they are waterproof. Cap is really hard to get off, like really hard. I cannot get this cap off, like literally. There we go. Okay, I got the cap off, but I broke the pencil in doing so because it was that hard to get off. But that's okay, because they come with pencil sharpener. I don't know why that was so hard to get off. That was like, it was weird. It's like stuck on there. All right, so let's do the Plum. Okay, they're very soft, which again is not a bad thing. I'm gonna put the cap on really lightly because these pencils are meant to be smudged. Smudge them out for you. Here's the Plum. Let's smudge out the green. Green is harder to smudge, but the purple smudged really well. Purple has more like a grape tone. All right, let's try the green on the eye. I've been because I've waited too long. All right, let's smudge it. Yeah, you can smudge the green one too. Not as much as the purple one. The purple one is really soft. I don't know, the green one is like harder than the other ones, or maybe the purple's a little weird, or maybe it got like heated up in transport or something, which is why the cap wouldn't come off. Who knows? I'll test them all later, but oh, the pencil's nice. Pencil's very nice. Smudged really well. Dark green is a really pretty shade. So there's the look. All in all, I gotta say, guys, I like the khaki. I do. I think it's nice. The color story is a little bit more grungy green than I would say khaki green, but I think it's nice. All right, let's see how these liners, they stay on. I'm rubbing them, trying to rub them off with microfiber towel, and they're not coming off. So that is actually good. That's what you want. All right. All right, so let's try the mascara and see what we think. Mascara one looks the same. I will look at the ingredients. And if I notice any difference in the ingredients, because I did buy some backups of this mascara in case they did reformulate it. So I can look at the boxes. And if I did notice a change, or if I didn't notice a change, I'll have it go down below. So in the editing, I'll go back and make a comment on that. But at the moment, it feels like it's the same. It feels a little drier, but you know, that could be just because I just took it out. Like a lot of times with mascaras, I feel like the first couple times you use them, I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if it's like you need to get some air into the mascara, which is why it goes bad. Or it's just because the formula like warms up. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but the first couple times you use a mascara, I feel like sometimes it's not as good as when you get into like the midlife of the mascara. And then you can always tell, I mean, you should throw out your mascara really after 6 months anyway, but you can always tell when a mascara is like getting old, like when it's time to go, because it doesn't feel right anymore. Like you can tell, like it feels too dry, or I don't know. There's like a difference in the way that it applies on your lashes. It gets too flaky, all those things. And so that's how you can always tell at the end. You're like, oh yeah, my mascara is gone. All right, so now here's an interesting thing. And again, I'll check to see if there's any change in here. But this dried a lot faster than the old one. What I mean by that is I'm going in to put a second coat on, and the lashes are already dry when I'm putting the second coat on. Now, I seem to remember that it stayed wetter longer, but that could be my imagination. You know, I could be imagining that, but I feel like it stayed wetter longer. Like this is dry already. Like my lashes are dry. But I will say that it absolutely does give volume. This is not really a lengthening mascara if that's something you're looking for. It tends to, like, it's a little bit more clumpy. It's a mascara that I've always been able to put over other mascaras though to build volume. I like that about this mascara, so we'll see if it can still do that. I'll try that on other occasions. Again, this is a little bit of a first impression, which I know they're not sometimes as helpful, but I did want to give you my thoughts about the mascara and the liner and of course the eyeshadows. Okay, final look. Again, have the new mascara, the new liner, new eyeshadow in khaki, and the old blush in Backstage blush in coral. I'd say for final thoughts, I'd say this. The the khaki does seem like a beautiful, well, it is a beautiful color story. I think it looks really nice on. I can't say anything like this puce shade that's in the middle and the green shade, the satin shades, they are beautiful and it actually looks really nice on the eye. The two brown shades, I think they kind of blended into one another, this one and this one. I'll have to play around with it more to see if that happens all the time or maybe it was the way I applied it, but they don't stick out as much as I think they should. The glitter shade or the top coat, that does nothing. That didn't change the look. You know, it's not like a suku where, you know, maybe, like again, maybe it's not meant to do that, but then I'm not sure what it's meant to do because when I tried to put it in the brow area, it didn't do much. You know, that in and of itself, like I don't, if you're gonna have 5 shades, make them all do something. So that I don't love. I don't feel like the formula is better. I'm not saying it's bad though, but it doesn't seem like it's better. So I'm not sure why they reformulated it. Like this shade, I would have loved if this had more, you know, like when I showed you the jungle, like it had more pigment to it, like it showed up. So I'm not, again, not really sure, but the look is actually quite beautiful. So I mean, I can't argue with that. The look I think is great. But the formula, yeah, I'm definitely on the fence about. I'll keep, obviously, I'll try the Rose Tulle and I'll do a review on that for you. And I'll pick up, you know, other ones as they pop up. The case I don't like as much. I don't like this little CD thing where you have to put your nail underneath. Because you can see, like, you have to, like, pick it up like that. It's not like you, I like the press button thing. That was easy. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like the packaging more. I wonder if all of them don't have sleeves now or it's just mine. If you've picked up any, let me know if you had sleeves on yours, which I think makes them more breakable when they ship. So that I don't love. Yeah, so I'd say at the moment, I'm not sure why this was reformulated to have cornstarch. Like, I don't know what that does to it. Yeah, I think it looks nice. We'll see how long it lasts, how it wears on the eye. I'll have all that for you. And of course, when I do the other videos, including the Rose Tulle, I'll be able to give you those thoughts because I will have been trying it longer. The liners I really like. I think the liners are very good. They remind me of Chanel. They remind me of the Chanel Kohl liners. Let's see how long they last, but as you can see, they're still on my hand, so they're hard to get off, which is a good thing. Love the green, love the plum shade, so that's good. The mascara seems to be the same. I will compare it to the boxes that I have of the old formula and see if I can see any differences, and I'll let you know. But yeah, it does seem to be, it worked like the mascara of old. So I don't know if it is the mascara of old, but I will say for like the volumizing that it does, yeah, that's what I remember. It just seemed to dry faster. But again, that could be my imagination. So I'd say overall, I'm not, you know, I'm not crying. I'm not like, oh my goodness, they destroyed it. I just, you know, it doesn't seem better. So I'm not, if anything, it seems not as good because there's a couple shades in here that didn't perform the way I would love them to. Again, it's 1 quint, so I'm not gonna just come out and be like, oh, it's terrible, but I don't see an improvement. So I'm not really sure. Liners I like. The blushes I will have soon. I was traveling, so I don't have them yet, but I will get them. I also want to tell you, like, I got these little cases that came with the Dior because it had a code. So those are really cute. Things to travel with, always nice. But yeah, I'd say at the moment, I'm not bowled over, but I'm not curled up in a corner crying because Dior ruined it. So I guess that's good because I was expecting something worse, to be very honest. So more to come. And for the Rose Tulle, let me know what shades you'd like me to compare it to. Thanks so much for joining. Oh, and one other thing, for the blushes, if there are particular shades that you're really interested in, let me know. There's a couple of shades that I've already been like, yeah, those are ones I'll probably get. The more nude, beigey ones. But if there are particular shades that you're really interested in, you want to see, let me know. Maybe I can pick up 1 or 2 of those. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it and hope to see you in another video really soon.